everybody. Good to see you. Hey, today we're out in the dink shop. We're going to preview a couple of safety things that I have for the table saw. And we're going to show some clamps that I found to put on my tenoning jig that we made the other day. So stick around, let's see what we come up with here. The first thing I have is a push stick. This is a plastic push stick. Some people don't like these. And I can kind of see why. If it gets into your saw blade, you could have problems with it chipping off and maybe flying back and hitting you. But so far this one's worked well for me. And I just pay attention that when I'm running it through my saw, that I'm not too close to the blade. And like I said, so far it's been okay. I may make some out of wood just to have those around, but for right now we really like this one. I also have a couple of these. These are by Milescraft, sorry. And these are push blocks. They got the angled handle on them. They got a gripper bottom on them, and you can use them to push your wood through. I mainly got these for my joiner, so I can push stuff through without my hands and fingers getting too close to the joiner blades. The other thing I have, I just got this. This is by Microjig. Everybody's probably seen these. I've only used this a couple of times, but I plan on using it more in the future. They just came out, I think, this past Christmas with an 1/8 inch that you can put on here. I think this one's a 1/4 maybe, but they came out with a thin rip 1/8 inch, and this is adjustable back and forth here, so you can set that up where you need your saw kerf is. I guess you got to unloosen both ends. So that's kind of neat. You can set it for different cuts. This also adjusts up and down. So if you have a thicker piece of stock you're cutting or a thinner piece, you can adjust that. It takes a minute to adjust it, and I think that's maybe one of the drawbacks of it, I guess. But it's something that's going to keep your hand and your fingers away from the saw blade. So I wanted to show that before we get started. So we have our tenoning jig here, and it rides on this rail back and forth. I got that set up. My issue was clamping my piece. I was originally thought I was going to cut a circular slot in here, I guess, so that I could stick a clamp through there. Stick a clamp through there. I could turn it around whichever way I needed it and get that. But I decided that may not be what I'm looking for. So I found these. These I got at Menards. You'll see a lot of these different people use for different kinds of jigs, and I thought, oh, that'll be perfect. So I think I'll mount 2 of these, one up a little higher and one down just a little bit lower down here. I think that'll give me enough clamping pressure, and they're adjustable. You can adjust this right here in and out. It's got a locking nut on it so it stays place, and it's a little cam lever. We're going to give it a try here. Let's get the drills out and drill a couple holes in. Okay, I got some 1-inch screws out. I'm going to use those to attach the clamps with, and we'll get this top one mounted, and then I think I'll put the bottom one down here. Top one will go here, bottom one right here, and I think that'll be sufficient. Let's get those attached and see what it looks like. Okay, there's the first one. I think that's going to work well. We'll get the next one put on here and get these adjusted, probably for 3/4 inch material. just so it's nice and snug when I run this back and forth across my blade. This one's adjusted all the way out and tightened down, but it also, this will also screw in and out for different thicknesses of material that you're trying to cut on here. So that's kind of a nice feature. Okay, got that one installed. I'm gonna get my piece of scrap out that I tried the other day and probably get a wrench. I'm not sure what size. I'm gonna say 9/16, but we'll check it out. Could be metric too, who knows. Turns out it was a 9/16. That was a lucky guess. So I'm gonna get those adjusted, get my piece of scrap in here and see how it works out. So I got those put on. I got them tightened down with my wrench. I decided to slide this out so it's approximately in the center of this. Now if I had a wider piece, this is as far out as it will go. It does have these rubber feet that grip pretty good, and these are pretty tight. I think I got the top one maybe just a little tighter than the bottom one. And that's going to hold this piece down where we want it. I think that's going to work out great, but I'm going to give that a try and see how that goes. So my idea here is I'm going to use this inclometer. I think that's how you say that. And I'm going to set this at 22.5 degrees on my saw blade so I can get a steep angle cut on. I'm just going to cut it on this piece of scrap wood and try that out first and see how it works. So I said it was 22.5. Actually, with this angle here, it's going to be 67.5. My 22.5 eventually on my project is going to be cut on the miter box saw. But for right now, we're going to put this at 67.5 and we're going to run it through and see how it looks. Okay, had a little bit of learning curve there. I forgot to zero this out. When you set this down on here, there's a button on here. You can zero that out. That way, when you put it on whatever you're putting your next angle on, it's going to be perpendicular to, in this case, the top of my table. One thing I wanted to mention, be sure to get some dust mask for your shop. I like this one. It's got the interchangeable filters in it. It's got 2 ports on each side. The nose piece is aluminum and it kind of contours to your face. This one has the stretchy Velcro straps. And this particular one also has some ear protection. Be sure you use ear protection. I don't have the side protection for these glasses. I think I have a set of them, but I gotta find them. So anyway, we cut the piece. I'm really pleased with it. These clamps worked really well. They held everything in place. One of the first things I noticed was my saw blade was not sharp enough. It's, to be fair, it's an old blade and it's cut a lot of stuff. And it probably would help if I clean the pitch off of it, the wood pitch. And so I used these clamps and they worked out great. They held the piece right where I wanted them. And the angle of that, look how steep that is. That's 67.5 degree angle. This is the cutoff piece, but you can see just how tight that fits. I'm really pleased with that. My idea is to cut another piece with that angle on it and it'll form like an A-frame, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. There's a couple other parts to that, but we're going to get to that eventually here. So I'd highly recommend that. I think next time I get to Menards, I'm going to buy some more of these clamps. I think I have 2 left, and I'd like to have some extras because I'll be making other jigs, and I'm thinking those are going to come in real handy. So until next time, hey, thanks for joining me. If you have a comment, please leave that for me, and we'll just go on this journey together and learn as we go.